Hey kiddos. Oh, that is so horribly blurry. That's a little bit better, I think. Hope you all are having a good day today. I have my new festive hat on for the day. It's a Santa hat, but it is pink sparkly. It has a princess hat on it. Still the same Grinch shirt, but I'll have a new festive t-shirt on tomorrow during our Google Meet. So today our learning target is using matrices to solve systems of equations. So let me find my paper here. Yep, there we go. So matrices, systems of equations. Why is that so blurry? Sorry. Oh, wait, we had it. There we go. That's better. Perfect. Matrices systems of equation, and today is going to be 12-1. It's Christmas season. Hopefully tomorrow during our meet this is all decorated and we're all festive and fun. But anyway, so matrices solving systems of equations. So this learning target is kind of confusing, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to show you how to do it by hand, and then we're going to talk about a way to do it in the calculator. I'm also going to go over how to do determinants and multiply matrices and stuff like that in the calculator. So for today's assignment, our assignment is just our notes for today. So today we're going to be doing notes, and then we'll spend 25 minutes doing cert review because it is Tuesday, it's math day. So I will have you turn in your notes today as proof that you did watch this lecture and you took notes along with it. So I'll be looking for the stuff I write down on the paper as well as tips and tricks that I talk about on the calculator. So for systems of equations, if we're given the system 2x minus 2y equals 1, and we're given 2x minus 3y equals 5. So these are the two equations that I'm getting. The first thing I want to do is write it in an augmented matrix. So I have x, y, and a constant, x, y, and a constant. So I'm going to have 2 rows, 3 elements each row. If we remember, this is going to be my x, this will be my y, and this will be my constant. So remember, we put the dotted line in between our constants. This is equation 1, and this is equation 2. So I'm going to have 2, negative 2, 1. 2, negative 3, 5 for my augmented matrix. So I am trying to do something that is called row reduced echelon form. So I want to use, I'm going to draw it like this, row reduced echelon form. So RREF is what it's called, row reduced echelon form. I'm 99% sure that's how you spell that, but I could be wrong. And we're trying to turn this matrix into the identity matrix on the left and it to give us new constants on the right. So essentially, once you use row reduced echelon form and you turn this into the identity matrix over here, whatever your constant is right here, that'll stand for what x equals, and whatever your constant is right here, that'll stand for what y equals. Because this is saying I have one x in this column, so it goes with this row. I have one y in this column, so it goes with this row. So for row reduced echelon form, there are 3 operations that you can do. They're called elementary, row operations. So rule number 1 is you can interchange 2 rows. So that means I can make row 1 row 2 and vice versa. I can flip rows. 2 is you can multiply a row by a non-zero constant. So I can multiply a whole row by 2 or 3 or whatever I need to multiply it by. That's n for constant. And then row 3 is you can add a multiple of one row to another row. Bring that around. Add a multiple of one row to another row. So these are the three rules that you can use in order to turn this into this. So we'll start. So step one is going to be starting with your original matrix. So 2, -2, 1, 2, -3, 5. And we want it to be an identity matrix on the left. So it doesn't really matter which spot you start in. It's really going to depend on what matrix you're given and what you're able to work with. So I need this to be a 1, and I need this to be a 0. So I think I can easily turn this one into a 0 if I multiply row 1 by -1. So negative row 1 plus row 2. So I'm going to multiply this whole row by -1, and I'm going to add that to row 2. So that rule is number 3, using rule 3. So I'll put rule 3 under here. So once I do that, I'm going to get 2, -2, 1, 0, -1, and 4. Because this would give me -1 plus 5, 4, 2 plus -3, -1, so on and so forth. Now, I'm easily able to turn this -1 into a 1 because I can multiply it by -1. So negative row 2, that's going to give me, my first row is going to stay the same. I'm going to have 0, 1, -4. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this all the way back over here. Ran out of room. So now, I think it's going to be easy to turn this into a 0. So I'm going to do row 2 times row 2 plus row 1. So this, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. This over here is going to be rule 2. And this over here is going to be rule 3. And that's going to give me 2, 0, -7. And 0, 1, -4. And then lastly, I need to turn this into a 1. So I'm going to multiply row 1 by 1/2. That's going to be rule 2. So that is going to give me 1, 0, -7/2. 0, 1, -4. So once I do that, I can look here and I can see that I have the identity matrix over here, and I have 2 constants here on the left. So what this means, once I solve this system, I was able to get x is equal to -7/2, and y is equal to 4. So this is the matrix way of doing systems of equations, kind of like we did last unit with substitution, elimination, graphing. This is just the way to do it by matrices. So I know that was confusing, and I know that's a very long process. I had to do this in college with like 4x4 matrices, and you mess up one thing, you mess up the whole thing, and I cried a lot over it, I'm gonna be honest. But luckily, we have handy-dandy tools. We have graphing calculators. So I know all of you don't have one of these at home. That's why we're not going to practice on this today. I will have questions about it on the exam, but it'll be questions that come directly from your notes. So if you took good notes, you'll be fine. So I want to show you how to do some matrix stuff on the calculator. So be sure to write down some tips and tricks in your notes, as I will be looking for those for your participation grade today. So to get to matrices, you're going to go to second and then hit matrix, which is above the x -1. You're going to scroll over to edit. So we'll do matrix A. You first put in your rows and your columns. So I have 2 rows and 3 columns. So 2 and 3. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to enter this exactly like I see it. So 2, oop, y'all can't see that, 2, -2, 1. Then we have 2, -3, and 5. So once those are all in there, I'm going to hit second quit. Then I'm going to hit second matrix again. I'm going to scroll over to math, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to RREF, row reduced echelon form. So RREF, then I'm going to hit second matrix again. Then I'm going to hit 1. So enter on A, because 2 times 3 is what we want. That's the matrix I just edited. So 2 times 3, close that parenthesis. You're going to hit enter. You're going to get 1001, good. Negative 3.5, the same as negative 7/2, and then negative 4. So this is what the calculator is doing when it's doing that. So if you ever need to solve a system of equations, you're going to use the RREF feature in your calculator. So I know that we also did matrix multiplication. So to do the same thing, you're going to hit second matrix. So let's say we inputted our 2 matrices in here. So if you needed to multiply 2 of them together, you'd scroll down, you'd do 1 in A, then you'd do 1 in B. So you're going to go to math. You're going to go to names. You're going to hit enter on A. Then you're going to hit second matrix. And you can go down to B. You hit enter on B, and you can hit enter. And it's going to give you what those 2 matrices multiplied together was going to be. So you make sure the main thing to know when you're doing it in the calculator is you have to make sure you input it correctly. So double check and triple check what you're inputting into the calculator before you try and do this. So this will work 2 by 2, 3 by 3, mixed matched, all that jazz. So if you do have one of these on the exam, you will be required to do it by hand and show me that works. That's how we learned how to do it in class. This is really good ACT prep though. And then, so there's another trick. We're going to go to matrices. We're going to go to math. Nope, we're going to go to edit actually. We'll go to matrix C. If I want a 2 by 2 matrix, and it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Second quit. I can also go to second matrix. I can go over to math. I can hit determinant, DET, the first one. And then I can hit second matrix. I can scroll down to C. That's the matrix I'm working with. Close that parenthesis. And it's going to tell me my determinant for that is negative 2. There's a whole bunch of things you can do here in the calculator. You can scroll through here and see all the things you can do with matrices. Some of these we'll never get to, but tons of operations you can use in your calculator. You just have to know how to use it. So this is super important to on the ACT. There'll probably be matrices questions. So if you have any questions about how to use your calculator, please ask. I recommend writing down the instructions I said just in case you need to look back and remember. Hopefully we're all in person come time for our final exam, so you'll be able to use your calculators on your final exam. So that is the tutorial on how to solve systems of equations by hand. We're focusing on doing it in the calculator, but we all don't have calculators, so that's not fair. So for today, again, I want you to turn in the notes that you copied down. I expect you to have all this stuff that we did here on paper together. I also expect you to have some stuff about the calculator portion, how to use that. There is no practice for this learning target today. Today is just notes and lecture, and then CERT. So make sure you get logged into CERT and do 20-25 minutes of practice in there. I will be here for questions during my 3rd hour. Mr. Mason is here for questions, so please utilize us. Today is also a good day to get caught up on missing work. If you're struggling, please reach out so we can help you. That's what we're here for. But if not, I hope you all have a great day. I hope you're feeling festive as it's December 1st, and I will see you all tomorrow. Oh, hang on, let's flip that back. There we go.